We're also following a developing story now overseas. An American soldier has been killed fighting ISIS in northern Iraq. Defense Secretary Ash Carter says the service member died just north of the city of Mosul. Our Holly Williams is in Istanbul now. And Holly, I know you've been following this story all morning. What's the latest?
Well, Josh, a Defense Department official says that this US serviceman was a military advisor to the Peshmerga. They're the Kurdish fighters who work very closely with the US-led coalition in northern Iraq. ISIS has released a new video which appears to show a battle raging in the early hours of this morning. The extremists attacked a Christian town, Tel Askof, which is about 12 miles north of Mosul. And Mosul, of course, is Iraq's second biggest city, still in the hands of ISIS after almost 2 years. This US serviceman was apparently at least 2 miles away from the front line, but ISIS managed to penetrate that front line and he was then shot and killed. The US-led coalition launched 23 airstrikes during that battle, according to a US military official, using both fighter jets and drones. We still don't know the total number of Kurdish casualties. Now, this follows the death of a Marine back in March. He was killed by ISIS rocket fire at a base near Makhmur, which is also just outside of Mosul. The US now has around 5,000 military personnel in Iraq, most of them serving as military advisors. But Josh, it was announced last month that at least some of them would be moving closer to the front lines. And
it also suggests there is a bit of disconnect, as US officials have said that airstrikes have weakened ISIS. Why then is this sort of attack, rather brazen, still happening?
Well, Josh, it's not just the US that says that ISIS is weaker. We talk to local commanders in Syria and Iraq who tell us the same thing. The US says that airstrikes have killed 25,000 ISIS fighters. They've clearly lost territory. Anecdotally, they seem to have a lot less cash on hand. And the US says that fewer foreign fighters are now able to join the group. But perhaps this is just the kind of attack, unlikely to achieve very much, but deadly nonetheless, that you expect to see from a weakened group. We can't speak for ISIS. We're not inside of ISIS. But perhaps this attack and other attacks like it are attempts by the group to reassert its prestige. And the audience is its fighters, its supporters, and people who live inside ISIS territory in Syria and Iraq. We were on the front lines just outside of Mosul back in March, in fact, very close to the area where this offensive took place today. And we were speaking to one Kurdish commander who told us that it is the sheer irrationality of ISIS that makes the group so dangerous.
And again, it did result, as the news broke this morning, in the death of a U.S. service member just north of Mosul today. Holly Williams in Istanbul, thank you.